Welcome to the future, where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is annulled, and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
You know, when pushed, sometimes what you can accomplish, sometimes the results that you get when under great stress or pressure or tension can reveal the true nature of your character, can reveal your strengths and your weaknesses simultaneously. And this guy, James Shaw, do you know about him, Travis?
James Shaw. No, I don't even think the name sounds familiar. Who is he?
Well, okay, so you know the Waffle House shooting.
Yes.
Yeah. The more people could have died at the Waffle House shooting. But a 29-year-old customer, this guy James Shaw, wrestled the shooter's AR-15 away and threw it behind a counter. And he claimed that he's not a hero. He's the only one saying that, though, because he essentially ended it and the shooter left. Here's James Shaw talking about stopping the Waffle House shooter.
And then when he proceeded to come in, I actually went behind. It's like a push door, swivel door. He shot through that door, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure he grazed my arm. And it was at that time that I kind of made up my mind, because there's no way to lock that door, that if it was going to come down to it, he was going to have to work to kill me. So at the time that he was either reloading or the gun jammed or whatever happened is when I ran through the swivel door. I hit him with the swivel door, and then the gun was kind of jammed up and it was pushed down, so we were scuffling. I managed to get him with one hand on the gun, and then I grabbed it from him and I threw it over the countertop. After that, I was trying to get out the door, and I think he was pretty much in the entranceway, so I just took him out with me, out of the entrance and all the way outside.
This is a guy, like I said, who claimed that he's not a hero. And you want to know why he said he wasn't a hero?
Tell me.
He said that he didn't feel as though he was a hero because he was just trying to defend himself. He said that he's not a hero because he fought the gunman for selfish reasons to save himself. People are calling him a hero for saving lives at the Waffle House, and he said no, that it was just an act of self-preservation. And like I said, moments of extreme challenge can reveal what type of person you really are. I'm quite sure that I am not anywhere near a fraction of the man that James Shaw was in that moment. But as if to contradict himself again, did you catch what he did?
No, I didn't.
Or what he's done now? He is, and let's just say it, he is the hero who ended the Waffle House shooting, and he raised more than $85,000 for victims' families.
My God.
This happened just a couple days ago, and he created the GoFundMe with the goal of raising $15,000 for the families of victims. He wrote about the campaign, "My name is James Shaw Jr. I am creating this page to help the families of the victims from the shooting that took place at Waffle House in Antioch, Tennessee. Please take the time to donate. All the proceeds will be given to the families. Thank you again for your generosity and blessings." And let's see, hold on. Do we have the link to the GoFundMe? I wonder where he's at now. I wonder where this not a hero who saved the lives of others and then proceeded to raise money for the families of people that were hurt in this situation. I wonder what he's raised now. I'll find it and I'll tweet it. But it's pretty incredible stuff, wouldn't you say?
That's amazing. That's insane. It looks like it's over $130,000.
That's amazing. Incredible.
Yeah, not a hero, right? Not a hero, guys. I'm just not a hero over here. Just doing a few things.
Just, barehandedly disarming a psychotic gunman that was killing people, saving the lives of others, and then raising money for the families of victims in a selfless way. Unbelievable. Incredible. Yeah. We found out some interesting things about Travis Ranking, the 29-year-old shooter. He It's not clear if he targeted his victims because of their race. He's white. None of the victims who have been identified were. But police think it's also possible that it was completely random. It sounds like he definitely has had mental issues. His family said in the past that he started suffering from delusions in 2014. According to his Facebook page, he's a conspiracy theorist who believes the Illuminati is real. 2 years ago, he told cops in Illinois that Taylor Swift was stalking him. And, this isn't the first time he's been in trouble either. He was arrested by the Secret Service last July outside of the White House. He claimed that he was, get this, a sovereign citizen and that he needed to talk to President Trump. Obviously, that didn't happen. But knowing all of this just makes our friend James Shaw seem like that much more of the hero that he says he isn't.
Real radio. 104.1.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio, on Twitter at ADSXE.
Because we tackle big and important issues around here, I thought a little later on in the show, Travis, we take on this very pressing conflict that has arisen. That seems to need our immediate attention, something that it would take our equanimous attitude towards current events to come to a viable conclusion on. The growing and somewhat vitriolic rivalry between Domino's and Pizza Hut and fans of either one of those places.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is going to be good stuff. Domino's versus Pizza Hut, Subway versus Quiznos, and more fast food rivals. We'll get into all this a little later on in the show. Right now, though, I got to share something with you. So, when I was like 16 years old, that's when my band really took off, which was Gasp Shock Horror, about 21 years ago now. So that was a long time ago. Cut to, there's all these bands in my native England. That are reforming from around that time and playing shows like they haven't been around for like 10 or so years. And now they're back up in the game and they're playing sold out shows. And I keep getting email after email from people in England and some people in America, more in England, because we kind of had a bit more of a thing going on over there, I think, saying, hey, you just got to reform, do one more show at the Garage in Islington in London, the site of one of the greatest shows in history, which it was a legendary night when we sold out the Garage in London. In Islington, it was just freaking bananas. And there's people that were at that show that have been emailing us and saying, hey, get back together for one last show. And we're all in different parts of the world. Like our old bass player lives in Spain. Our guitar player lives in Orlando. Our drummer lives in England. I live in America. It's just not going to happen. There's no way, no shape or form, no how, no earthly possibility of this ever happening. Besides all of that, besides the obvious geographical limitations that we would have to overcome, I just couldn't do that stuff anymore. I just couldn't. Like, I'm in pretty good shape now. Like, I was feeling like death warmed over, so I made a commitment to get some exercise, and I've been doing that, and it's made me feel better, and I've gotten into much better shape than I used to be when I was doing significantly more waddling and sweating this time last year. But it's not even a matter of being in good shape. It's a matter when I think of what I used to do. When I think of what I used to do, like hang upside down from lighting rigs and like dive off of balconies into crowds and just like this sort of like elastic quality that my body had when I was a teenager that it doesn't have anymore. I feel like. And here's the thing. It's not just a matter of like, oh, you were young and now you're getting older. I read something fascinating about why parents can't keep up with their kids and explains to me why I wouldn't be able to do the things I did when I was 16, 17, 18 years old on stage. You want to know why people can't keep up with their kids, Travis?
Yeah, this actually sounds really interesting.
It's fascinating stuff, and it explains so much. You can't keep up with your kids when they're running around and playing if you've got kids, and I'm here today to tell you that's okay. Why? Don't feel bad about it. You couldn't keep up with LeBron James either. Because according to this new scientific study, kids are naturally just about as fit as full-time professional athletes.
Really?
Yeah, they studied boys between the ages of 8 and 17, I think, and found that their muscles basically don't ever get tired like yours do. Like their muscles just don't get tired. They can keep going and going and going, and you just don't get worn out at all in any way, shape, or form. The kids also recovered, quote, even faster than well-trained adult endurance athletes, meaning a 9-year-old boy recovers from strenuous exercise quicker than an Olympic sprinter or a long distance runner. You know, when people are trying to, run 4-minute miles and whatnot, guess who's going to get over the experience and the shock to their central nervous system faster? A 9-year-old kid. It's amazing, right?
Wow, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And what does it mean? Well, it means that it's not your fault that you can't keep up with your kids, because no adult really would be able to. And if you're feeling like, oh man, I used to have so much more energy and used to be able to do things and throw myself around when I was a kid. Like, do you remember when you were a kid, you used to hang off stuff? Do you remember hanging off of stuff, Travis?
Yeah, I mean, like, when I was a kid, like, I was trying to think back, like, we had, like, video games and TVs and stuff, but I lived on, like, 10 acres out in the middle of the woods. Like, literally, you couldn't see the road from our house, because, like, there were woods all around it, like, deep, deep forest. And so we used to climb trees a lot. And, like, so we would jump from tree to tree. I mean, we would climb all the way to the top of these trees. And, like, not too long ago, I tried to climb a tree. and let me tell you, wow. I fell out of the dang thing.
I know a lot of adults, and I was a tree climbing kid, too. I used to have... And it's amazing the risks you take with your personal health and safety when you're a kid, too. I used to do this thing where I had a big rope and I tied one end to a rock and threw it over a branch of a tree that was about, 30 feet in the air. And then I tied one end into a loop and stuck the rope through it. And I used it as my tree elevator. I kind of discovered that if I pulled the rope down, it would take me up to the top, like 30 freaking feet in the air. And my parents didn't care. They're like, oh, look, he's active. And, that shows a certain amount of ingenuity and aptitude for natural engineering. There you go. And it's just like, I think about doing that stuff, and now the way you used to swing around on jungle gyms and stuff like that, you do that for 5 seconds as an adult and you are winded for the rest of the day. That's it. You will be so, like, we as grown-ups struggle to do a pull-up, and well, there you go. There you go. This is why your kids, you just can't keep up with them. And you should also encourage your kids to play outside and really enjoy the fact that they have these incredible abilities that they will not have for much longer. So there you go.
For more stimulation and less irritation, 9 out of 10 doctors choose KPRC AM 950, Houston's more stimulating talk radio.
Don't get the blues, get all the news. We mean all of you guys out there in Radio Land. All aboard!
He's back. AD on the radio.
Give it up, yeah. Give it up, yeah. Bring this on, come on.
Trying to log on to my email, and now there's all these, every time I do it from a different device, like whether it's my phone or computer at the office or computer at home or other computer at home. Wow, that's a lot of devices. How is it that I need all these devices to get by, Travis? If one of them goes down, my entire day is just kablooied beyond belief.
I know.
It's amazing how dependent we've become on this ridiculous technology.
I know. I hate it. And I know what you're about to say, too. Every single time you log in, is it trying to do that stupid two-factor authentication where it sends a stupid code to one device? Oh, God.
Oh, that is annoying. No, it's just an annoyance with technology in general that I have, because now, ever since Facebook got popped for data privacy stuff, everybody has been updating their terms, and everybody, it's all just stuff that you're probably not going to read. Pages and pages of legal jargon every time you sign into anything, and it just takes forever, and you've got stuff to do. It's like, You mean you can't, you're not going to let me look at my email until I click through all of this? Well, clickety click, click, click. Apparently I'm okay with it. Like whatever the hell it is, I've got to get on with my life. People need answers to these questions, and they need answers now because I've managed to claw my way to middle management in life, and I'll get flayed alive if I can't supply the answers that they want in the time frame that they want.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Middle management. What a mistake that was. But it's just like, it feels like everything is in fact slowing us down. And yeah, you're exactly right. It's more sort of like authentication. Now to get into my work computer from the house, I do let like a VPN in, but I have to have my phone with me so I can get a text message confirming. Like I log in, then I get a text message, then I have to put the code that I get in the text message into the VPN. And it's so annoying. I'm like, what if my phone's not working? And I really have to get into the, what then? Did you ever think of that? No, you didn't.
I saw an article that if you actually took the time to read every single privacy policy that you encounter over a year,
you'd be dead.
No joke. It would take you 76 work days every year.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Man, that would be a great scam for getting out of work obligations. Sorry, I've got some privacy policies I've got to read. It seems irresponsible not to.
You're not kidding. That would be so smart.
Yeah, no, I won't be able to make this pointless meeting that could have been handled by an email because I've got to read the privacy policy so I can get into my email first. So you start working on the email. I'll be reading this for the next couple of days, and you can get your answer. Oh, what's the date on there? Late December.
Oh my God.
That'd be great.
It's awesome.
But the double authentication is just, it's something that drives you crazy, like being asked whether or not you're a robot.
Everything's fast now and it's totally unreasonable. The world is run by computers. The world is run by robots. And sometimes they ask us if we're a robot just because we're trying to log on and look at our own stuff. Multiple times a day. May I see my stuff, please? I smell a robot. Prove you're not a robot. Look at these curvy letters. Much curvier than most letters, wouldn't you say? No robot could ever read these. You look mortal if ye be. You look. And you type what you think you see. Is it an E or is it a 3? That's up to ye. The passwords have passed, you've correctly guessed, but now it's time for the robot test. I've devised a question no robot could ever answer. Which of these pictures does not have a stop sign in it? What?
Oh my God.
So unbelievably brilliant. Do you know John Mulaney?
I do, actually. I don't know. I'm sure he's done stuff other than stand-up, but the only thing that I know of his is his stand-up, and I don't know that much of it. I happened to pawn him at one point, and I was like, oh my God, that guy's hilarious, and that's like the extent of my exposure to him.
I had an aversion to him because people said he was the new Seinfeld, and I was like, no one's the new Seinfeld. Just give it up. No. And so I never bothered getting into him. I was like, why would I watch him when I could just watch Seinfeld? Because people say he's the new Seinfeld. And then he hosted SNL. I was like, this guy's freaking hilarious. And I guess that's sort of Seinfeldian, that observation, but the delivery is completely different. And I've loved him ever since he was on SNL. And you know what I love about his comedy is that he was a writer on SNL, which I didn't know. He had experience being on Saturday Night Live as a writer. And so his stuff is very well thought out. You can tell that's something he wrote. A lot of comedians go on stage and pretend like they're saying something off the top of their head. Not him. That this is basically just him getting up and reciting something from memory. And it's still freaking hilariously brilliant. And did you see him on SNL the other week?
No, I'm not an SNL watcher. I mean, I don't watch much TV as it is, to be completely honest. I just don't watch TV, but definitely not SNL. And I just don't know that it's funny anymore. And I keep hearing that it is. You know what?
Occasionally there's lousy ones, and I watch SNL. And it's funny because I was talking about this with a friend the other day. I hate that you want to go watch sketch comedy. Hell no. Absolutely not. No. Absolutely. You want to go see improv? No. Under no circumstances do I want to see people work things out on stage and just no improv, no sketch comedy. No, absolutely not. But SNL, like, I think has hit a bit of a renaissance. I used to go see SNL live when I lived in New York City, and it was just so unfunny. And people would like stand there waiting for a laugh, and something wouldn't be funny, but it would be almost funny. And people were like, "Oh, that was actually kind of funny. I'm glad we came tonight when someone was kind of almost sort of funny." And now at least once a week, I laugh out loud.
Really?
Yeah. And he hosted it. Like, John Mulaney hosted it. And, oh my gosh. So good. So good. And he talked about being a writer when Patrick Stewart from Star Trek Next Generation was on and had to introduce Salt and Pepper. Listen to this.
The best intro, by the way, I ever saw of an SNL host with the musical guest was Sir Patrick Stewart, okay? Sir Patrick Stewart was introducing the musical guest, and this is how he did it. He went, "Ladies and gentlemen, salt and pepper!" Like he was surprised by pepper. Like minutes before, they'd been like, "We can't find pepper anywhere." And he was like, "If we must go on with salt alone, we will go on with salt alone." And they're like, 3, 2, 1. And Pepper bursts through the door and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, salt. And what's this? Pepper!"
That is actually really funny. It's funny because like I never liked Saturday Night Live when it was, and I know what you're going to say because like people like Steve Martin are hilarious, but like my parents loved it when it was like Martin and Belushi and stuff, and I watched it and I just didn't think it was funny. When it was people like Adam Sandler, Dana Carvey, Chris Farley, I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I mean, that was our time.
Yeah. That's got to be what it was. After they left, like I tried to watch it and I was just like, okay, you know what? It's not funny. Like I don't get it.
They've got who's the new? It was like a big deal because it was the first ever Hispanic female cast member that they've ever had. They've got this performer on called Melissa Villaseñor. Every time she comes on and says even anything, I start laughing. Like she doesn't even have to say or do anything. And like she's so freaking funny. One more technical reference to the world of John Mulaney. Have you ever had somebody's password that you shouldn't have had? Like maybe, a friend or an ex-girlfriend's or access to someone else's email or Facebook or something like that you shouldn't have had and you wondered what to do with the password?
Well, yeah. Of course.
What'd you do? Did you just like, let's see what kind of emails they got this week? What did you do?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah.
Well, then, all right. Here's John Mulaney talking about breaking up with his girlfriend, but still having her email password.
Oh, God.
I did break up with a girl a little while ago, and we stayed in pretty good contact after we broke up. Stayed in pretty good contact in that I had her email password and would check her account from time to time. Yeah, that happens. Have you given him your email password? You have? Why would you do that? Because he looks nice, because it's still nice, right? That's when it happens. It happens on like the sunniest day of the relationship, You're just like, "Oh, babe, are you going out to Kinko's? Could you print something out for me? My password is Garfield." He's like, "Oh, Garfield, that's so freaking cute. I love you so much." But there's a little bastard in the back of his brain that goes, "Aha, I got the password." And he holds onto it in a felt pouch like a dwarf with a prize, just waiting. Just waiting. You don't know that you remember the password. That's the thing. You don't realize you remember it until she hooks up with someone else. And then a little voice seems to whisper, "Garfield."
Oh, my God.
I have a problem with ex-girlfriends and stuff like that. You want to know why?
Yeah, I do.
AD is my name that people have called me since I was 12 years old. My legal name is Adrian. One of the downsides of Adrian is that it can be a guy's name or a girl's name. So all they need is a little bit of teeny, all they need is a little bit of password information or a little bit of information about a certain number of digits of my social security number, and they can call any credit card, any banking institution, anything that they want to, and pretend to be me successfully. And I know this because I've had it happen to me. It was an unfortunate oversight. And so, that's actually happened with more than one female.
Oh my God. I should, it's funny because having been a network administrator at one point, you would think that I would be a lot more careful with my passwords. But the thing is, I just don't care. Like, I can't tell you how many people have my passwords, and I just really don't care. I mean, I don't have anything secretive. I say secretive. I have, of course, like banking information and stuff. And, of course, you can use my email to recover passwords to other websites and stuff. But, like, nothing in my email is secretive. There's nothing naughty in there. There's nothing exciting, I mean, like, most of my friends have my passwords to my email and or my Amazon. I mean, that's the funny thing about it. And I really just don't. I mean, if somebody were to ask me, hey, what's your Amazon, like a friend of mine were to ask me, what's your Amazon password? I just blurt it out. And I know that that's not secure, but I just don't have anything to hide. And I guess I really just don't care, which is really sloppy of me. You would think I would know better than that.
Well, what are they going to do? Order gluten-free crackers on your account and stick it to you? I mean,
Exactly. Hopefully it has free returns, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, the return policy on Amazon's pretty. I wonder what happens in that situation. I didn't order this. My psychotic ex did, and I'm not taking responsibility for it. Amazon must see that sort of stuff all the time,
I'm sure.
man. Literally all the time.
Oh, I'm sure. And their return policy is really, really good, especially since they've started getting really sloppy with their 2-day deliveries. I don't know if that's happened to you. I love Amazon Prime, but the stuff that's supposed to show up in 2 days more and
never shows up in 2 days.
Not anymore. It used to.
Used to. Yeah. It used to show up in a matter of seconds. You're like, wow, I wanted it here in 2 days, but what's that knock at the door? Why is Millhouse barking? Oh my God, it's here already. That's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now anytime, so here's what I do.
Oh, wait, hold on. But don't tell what you can now do with Amazon, because we got so much to get through today. We'll get into that next. But the new delivery option for Amazon blew my ever-loving mind.
I know.
The only thing that surprised me more, I think, in the world of delivery services was that time Walmart were like, hey, you could order groceries from us and we'll deliver it directly into your fridge. Did you hear about this?
It's crazy. I did hear about that, and I would have let them in. I'm not going to lie. I'm lazy.
Well, no, you don't let them in. It's not like you let them tromp past you and put stuff in your fridge. It's that they get a one-time access code to your home, walk in, deliver the stuff, and there's a camera set up so you can observe them, and there's accountability and all this stuff. And I was like, no, I don't need an otherwise unemployable Walmart person tromping through my home after getting out of a windowless van and touching the stuff that I'm going to put in my mouth. This will not be a thing that I'm doing. Or, maybe we'll give this a try. You first.
Yeah, they can have a full-time password to my house, and if they're going to bring the groceries in. Wow. And not even a one-time deal. I know, right? I know. And they can have my email password, too.
Yeah, you know who I like handling my food?
Nobody.
Me.
Yeah.
And it ends there.
Sometimes you just know you're done. You're longing for that shining sun. You walk these streets most every day. You're waiting to get washed away.
More AD on the radio.
So, because you and I tackle big and important issues around here, a little later on in the show, we will get into the pop culture throwdown that's been happening recently. Travis, I want you to think about it. Don't blurt out your answer, because I really want you to give this some thought. We take pizza seriously on the show.
Oh my God, I love pizza.
Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Oh,
Let's let the plot thicken a little bit. Subway or Quiznos.
okay.
Think about these things, and we'll get into this massive pop culture battle that's been raging on the internet for the last couple days, and have the definitive word on Domino's and Pizza Hut a little later on, after we get into what's going on in the world of the news. What is happening?
Carrie Underwood says makeup is a confidence builder and that she never leaves home without it.
Oh, well, it's funny. A buddy of mine, I don't know how he'd feel about me talking. Well, I won't say who it is, but a buddy of mine recently said that he suffers from having no butt and flat ass, which is something I've never given any thought to, and it made me think a little bit about what I got going on south of the equator in the back. But he actually was so self-conscious about it, he bought underwear with butt pads in them.
How does he like them?
I do,
because I know who you're talking about. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Well, I don't know how. I think he ordered them, but I didn't know if he ordered them, but I don't know if he's gotten them yet, and I don't know if he's taken them for a test drive.
You need to follow up.
Yeah, and I was like, really? And he was like, why should women have all the lies? There's makeup, there's push-up bras, there's all these different things. We don't get anything. Why can't we have a lie? I was like, I guess, but what happens if someone is attracted to your tender, juicy hindquarters, and all that was promised is not all that it is once you drop trow? And he was like, hey, I've encountered many a push-up bra that led me to believe things are bigger and better than I found they were a little later on in the evening. I was like, okay, well, there you go. But yeah, Carrie Underwood says makeup is a confidence builder, and she never leaves home without it. I remember Elizabeth Hurley. Remember Elizabeth Hurley? Like in the Austin Powers movies, and she was a huge celebrity in England, and I think became a bit of a celebrity over here in the 90s. But do you remember her?
Yeah, of course, she's hot.
But she was like, I never go out without makeup. Why would I? I could go out looking amazing, or I could go out looking... And it's funny because like you look at her without makeup and genuinely you would never know it was her.
Really?
No idea. Zip, zing, nada. No idea. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how different she looks. She still looks really, really pretty, just like an entirely different person. It's interesting. But yeah, Carrie Underwood says makeup is a confidence builder. Well, and also, I think that's probably healthy because I know several women who have a similar attitude toward bourbon. And, well, of the two, there you go. What else?
Miranda Lambert reportedly cheated on her boyfriend with another country singer.
Where are we getting this news from, Travis? Like, reading the CMT like entertainment pages?
Guilty as charged.
Right? Yeah, don't judge.
Sorry.
She reportedly cheated on her boyfriend with another country singer. For more details on the affair, you can listen to every country song ever recorded. Sometimes they just write themselves. What else?
So true. Stormy Daniels' new porn video is doing very well.
Right. Unsurprising.
Correct.
Donald Trump gave it 2 very little thumbs up. He
has very large hands,
He's fine.
He's fine. They're fine.
Do you think... Did we talk about this on the show before? Like... You know how Donald Trump's physical came back? We did talk about this because you're the one that pointed out that... Because you know stuff about BMI, right?
Yeah.
Like, or body mass index and things of that nature. And he came in like 1/10 of a pound less than he would have to weigh to be obese, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And then there's all these pictures of him next to, I don't know why, I guess he palled around with him when he was a New York Yankee, but there's all these pictures of Donald Trump standing next to Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod from the Yankees, Jennifer Lopez's boyfriend. A-Rod's 6'3". Donald Trump claims to be 6'3". There's all these pictures of them standing next to each other, and he is conspicuously shorter than A-Rod. Have you seen these? It's like the A-Rod Trump height conspiracy thing.
No, I haven't, but that's absolutely hilarious.
And I honestly think that, given the type of thing that Donald Trump has always done for a living, being in business, being the type of person that realizes having a little size is something that can help him gain the advantage of intimidation, I would not be surprised if Donald Trump, not necessarily even for vanity, but for the sake of, trying to get that business advantage war lifts. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's, got some very generous souls in his shoes.
It wouldn't surprise me. There's not too much that you could guess is going on with Donald Trump that you would have to sell me too hard on, to be quite honest with you. Like, do I think he wears lifts? Never thought about it in my life. Do I believe that he probably does? Sure. It would not surprise me one bit.
I think that he has doctors lie about his height and weight.
I don't know. I could see how someone could easily confuse him and A-Rod.
Right. Yeah. It's like looking in a mirror.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny.
Surprised Jennifer Lopez doesn't occasionally get confused and go home with the wrong one. Go on.
Exactly. Oh, man. Channing Tatum and...
another guy who's frequently mistaken for Donald Trump.
They also look very similar, same size as well. Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan are reportedly forcing friends to pick a side in their divorce.
Well, yeah. We talked about this earlier before the show, and Travis said he'd like to go with that sexy little minx. So take a hike, Jenna.
Bye. I'm Team Channing, God.
People are really upset about this. I guess they were kind of like a beloved Hollywood couple. They're like, no, not those two. They're so cute together. It's amazing how people base their own ability to get on in life with, like, oh my gosh, if Channing and Jenna can't make it work, what hope is there for us? None, I tell you, none. Miserable.
Leave the stimulation to the professionals.
Everyone is so smart.
KPRC, more stimulating talk radio.
There's something happening here, and you should know what it is. The dumbing up of America. Now, more AD on the radio.
Before you and I get out of here today, we will take on the massive debate that has been raging on the internet and throughout the thought processes of the general public of America. And we are, of course, talking about the debate of which is a superior pizza. What are we talking?
Oh, delicious.
Pizza Hut or Domino's? Think about this. I don't want you to blurt out your answer. I want you to really think about all the options that you've been afforded. You might think that it's a given, but, well, Travis, you're talking about something that puts one pizza place over the edge that I hadn't even considered. And, well, for that reason, we'll get into the whys and wherefores of this debate before we get out of here, because, we tackle big and important issues on this show. Before we do, though, let's roll through what remains of the news. What else is going on?
A racehorse named Gronkowski had to bow out of the Kentucky Derby due to illness.
Gronkowski, after like the New England Patriots guy?
Yeah.
Was the illness severe headaches that the horse had from smashing beer cans into its forehead?
Probably so.
Or maybe the horse was just hungover. All right, go on.
A new study says that 89% of NFL players use pot.
Oh. Why so few? Responded the American Olympic snowboarding team. As it turns out, those clouds of smoke that you see when they're introduced onto the field, not from a machine.
No kidding.
Man, if anybody needs to smoke pot for pain management, it's people that run into each other for a living at high speeds, weighing 300 pounds. That's it's unsurprising. I mean, how does that work? I haven't actually kept up with it, but say you play for, the Denver Broncos.
Uh-huh.
And whilst in Denver, you know, rather than take some sort of pain medication, you enjoy what has been made medicinally and recreationally legal in Denver. Are you allowed to do that? Like, I heard that the NFL took a pretty strong stance on it, and it's just one of those things where, like, the NFL, like, I don't get too deep into what they're doing because just as an organization, they make me angry. You know, I still am having problems dealing with the fact that for all those years they didn't pay taxes, where I'm just like, what the? Like, it just boggles my mind. I'm like, how am I here forking over all my dough to Uncle Scam every single April, and the NFL doesn't even have that? No, you jerks. So I don't really know, but I know there was like a pot debate in the NFL. If you're in a place where it's legal, are you allowed to do it if you're a player?
I don't believe so. So and I could be very wrong, but my assumption on the case is that just like anywhere else, if you do choose to be somewhere and it's legal and you choose to partake, it's fine as long as the next time that a drug test comes up, you don't test positive. And if you do test positive, then you face the consequences because you know in your line of work, you're drug tested and it's a banned substance.
Wow. Interesting. Yet 89% of NFL players do it anyway and somehow manage to get away with it. Interesting. It's almost like the NFL says one thing to the public and then acts differently within their organization. Surely
Stop
it. Go on.
Doctors have performed the world's first complete transplant of a man's sexual organs.
I read about this. The guy was a veteran, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's someone else's, which is amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
it's cadaver, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, incredible. And, you know, like all joking aside, you know, and believe me, there's low hanging fruit here. Wait, hold on. I was trying to put all joking aside. There is so much of a man's identity wrapped up in what's going on south of the equator that for someone to lose that or lose function in it or lose, you know, like it's a big deal. And I'm not saying like I'm a manly man and without that I'm nothing. I'm just saying it's a part of you and it's a part of you that is connected to a very it's connected to you in a deeply psychological way. It's connected to your id. It's connected to your ego. It's connected to your sense of identity. It's connected, and like for it not to be a functioning thing, unbelievably traumatic for a lot of folks, I would imagine. So I think it's a really, really positive thing that they managed to do this. The idea that it's someone else's on you, like, is that's something. You know what I mean? The idea, like I've talked to people that have got heart transplants or organ transplants, and they say it is a little unusual to think that you've got another person's heart beating inside your chest, or another person's liver, or another person's kidney, or any of the above. I know someone who got a kidney transplant recently that's very close to the person that was the donor, and they have this special bond. You know, they were friends before, but now they have a really, really special bond, and it's, you know, so I can't imagine the other psychological hurdle of having someone else's down there.
Yeah, it's crazy. The situation in this situation is obviously he lost it due to a roadside bomb. So it's not as if, you know, they had any other choice. So, I'm just happy that they were able to. I mean, this is a first. You know, this is a complete first for them to be able to do it. I'm just ecstatic that they were able to do something to make this hero be able to feel partially complete again. You know, I mean, it's incredible.
And apparently it's going to, I have to put this very delicately, but apparently it's going to function and work in a way that allows him to experience what life was like before. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's very clear what you were indicating there.
Yeah. And you got to give it up. You got to give it up to the doctors that performed the operation. Doing something like that takes balls. Go on.
In an awkward moment in front of the media at the White House yesterday. Moment? Yeah, I know. Moving from one awkward moment to another. President Trump brushed what he said was dandruff off of President Macron's suit lapel. It's hard not to laugh because it's just so funny and awkward.
He said you got a little. Hold on. Well, now I kind of must know the full.
Oh my God.
Yeah, French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, I guess, visited Washington yesterday.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of memes created, like when Trump wiped the dandruff off of his shoulder, telling reporters, quote, "We do have a very special relationship. In fact, I'll get a little piece of his dandruff off," which we have to make him perfect. He is perfect.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. I guess, he's French, so he's just trying to make him feel at home by being rude. I don't know.
Well done.
Hey, Travis, I wonder if when Donald Trump is asked about wiping President Macron's dandruff off of his shoulder a little later on, he's going to deny it and say it was flake news.
Oh, boy. Okay. Let's move on. I don't know what else you've got planned for that one.
I got nothing. That's
Thank God.
Zing. Nada.
You hinted about this one. I'm excited to say it.
Oh, is this the Amazon thing?
Yes. Amazon's launching a service where they say they can deliver a package to your car trunk.
No kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of putting a package in a trunk, I think that new Stormy Daniels movie is out. But would you it's cheap, sorry. Would you be into that? Would you have somebody deliver a package to your car? This is when you're not in it. It's like cars that are 2015 and newer, I think. So Amazon will have a one-time access code to open your car's trunk, and they'll be able to put stuff in there. Like, is that a thing that you would be into?
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie to you. Just like I'm careless with my passwords, I leave my car unlocked. They don't even need a one-time password. Just open it up and put it in.
See, you know how there's Amazon package thieves?
Yeah.
Because they just leave them on your doorstep. I'm amazed that people do this and it still works. And
I know.
Because, I always try and be home when the Amazon package is delivered because I don't trust my freaking neighbors. They're going to be like, ooh, new razor blades. I think, and it's funny because, I'll pass my neighbor's house. And of course, I've never done it, but I'll see Amazon packages there. I'm like, it's just lying there. Anybody want some stuff? I don't know what it is, but I'm interested to find out. Like, if I was only slightly less scrupulous, I'm sure I would have just, it's like putting candy in front of someone who's really trying not to eat candy. It's just like if you're a thief that's trying not to steal stuff and there's just Amazon packages everywhere, what the hell is a person to do? You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing. And I would feel incredibly uneasy about having an Amazon package delivered to the trunk of my car because if someone who's going to steal stuff sees that, goes, oh, flippin' sweet, I'm just going to break into that car. So they're going to break into your car and they're going to take your stuff. It's double whammy. But I can see how it would be useful for Christmas time, surprise birthday presents, Christmas presents, or kids' parties, or, when you're trying to be a little bit stealth.
Yeah.
With this stuff. So I could see that being a thing. I wonder if they'll do it. Is it based off of your address outside your home, or is it geo-targeted to where you could just, go out to dinner and when you came back and got your car out of the parking lot, your stuff would be in it because Amazon dropped it off? Or do you have to be at home?
It's a good question. I'm not sure.
Well, it's one of those things where I think it's a great idea and people should do it. You first. Let me know how it goes.
No kidding. We need to get into the thing about the deal with the stuff.
Yes, we do, Travis. It's time now to play.
Oh, my God. Not this music.
It is time now to play Domino's or Pizza Hut. Having irrationally strong opinions on fast food is an important part of being American. We discuss it all the time on the show. So listen up. This is important. A new survey put fast food rivals head to head and asked people which is better. All right. Better burger. Five Guys or In-N-Out?
Oh, In-N-Out.
It was actually It was actually, hold on, is this fantastic music a little loud?
Yeah, turn it down. Or off.
Either or.
I know it's not going off.
Hell
Love
no.
this music. I know.
There is an exact tie between Five Guys In and Out. Better fries, McDonald's or Burger King?
Mickey D's hands down.
Destroyed the king of burgers, 82-15. Better pizza, Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Oh, you know what? They're both amazing, okay? And especially since Domino's redid their menu or redid their recipes, they're both incredible. If Domino's had stuffed crust, I would say Domino's. But because they don't, I'm going with Pizza Hut. I love the stuffed crust.
You're going with the cheese and the crust. That is tough to beat. But Domino's beats Pizza Hut 56-44%. Better coffee, Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts?
Not a coffee drinker.
Oh, well, Dunkin' Donuts lost to Starbucks and to Krispy Kreme for better donuts. Better sandwich, Subway or Quiznos?
Subway.
Subway wins hands down, 76%. Better ice cream, Cold Stone or Baskin Robbins?
Baskin Robbins. Got to go 31 flavors.
Yeah, well, that is where you are, unlike the majority of people in America, because Cold Stone won. But I'm with you on this one. Okay, more important issues like this one discussed tomorrow.
I just hate you so